What's up, guys? Long time no see. I apologize for the long wait there. All 12 of you. I think I have 12 subscribers, something like that. So yeah. Apologize for gulping water. But it's been I think the last time you guys saw me was back in 2017. It's 2018 now. No sarcasm shirt today. And it's 2017, right before Thanksgiving. So, apologize for the wait, guys. We're going to try to get back on a schedule I want to talk about. But we're probably just going to do pay-per-views. So, it might be a couple, I might have weeks where I don't do a video. But I only got 12 of you, so. But I appreciate the 12. Appreciate you. Nothing but love. So, we have the Elimination Chamber coming up. A lot of news has happened, obviously, since last year. And I'm going to go over all the news. Just going to kind of talk about the pay-per-view. I'm going to talk about some stuff that deals with the pay-per-view. Stuff like that. We'll try to we'll try to keep this down to a decent time today. Sorry, just checking something real quick. And yeah, so let's get started. Now, if you look at this card for the pay-per-view, it is a very weak card. There is a lot of filler matches in this card. There is only 2 and maybe a third match that matters, and then there's Ronda Rousey signing her contract. She's already signed with the company. She is a full-time WWE employee. She is going to be into wrestling now. She is kind of out of the UFC. I doubt she'll ever make a return to the UFC. If she does, it won't be for a couple of years, at least. So let's get started. And we're going to start actually with the men. And really the only men's match we're going to talk about, and that is the Elimination Chamber that has John Cena, Braun Strowman, Elias, Roman Reigns, The Miz, Finn Balor, and Seth Rollins. First time they're doing 7 guys in the match instead of 6. They're going to start with 3. We do know that The Miz is starting. If I had to guess who's going to start this match, I think the 3 that are going to start are going to be The Miz. I think we're going to have, we know Elias is last, so I think it'll be Miz, Seth Rollins, and Finn Balor. I think are going to be the starting guys, are going to be the 3. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to go over all the match of what I think, high spots, low spots, all that stuff. But it's interesting to me in this match because we know that, again, The Miz is going to start the match. He's going to be first in, which is stupid. The Elimination Chamber, that was always stupid to me that they're making a big deal of him being first in because there's always somebody first in. There's always 2 guys who start the match. So, it was guaranteed he's going to be in there. I guess that was the way they spun it, but it just makes no sense to make a big deal out of something that is going to happen. I don't get the writing on that. One thing about, and this is, like I said, I'm going to talk about the Chamber. I'm using it to go into other stuff. One thing about wrestling right now is I'm a diehard wrestling fan. I've been a wrestling fan. If you don't know, watch my other videos. You'll see that's all I talk about is wrestling on this channel. And the thing that gets me about wrestling, and more WWE than anyone else, because that's all I really watch, is that there's no more surprises in WWE. You know everything that's going to happen pretty much the night before or going up to the pay-per-view, even on Raw. And a lot of that has to do with, I always talk about, I'm a big talker of the Attitude Era. That's when I watched wrestling. That's when wrestling was, to me, that was the era of wrestling. Again, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, DX, God, you could go on, the list goes on and on. Those are just ones that pop in my head right now. Ric Flair, Goldberg, the Giant, Hulk Hogan, even though he came back and kind of brought himself back during the Attitude Era, the Monday Night Wars. During that time, the big thing that's different is that, and this is something WWE didn't have any control over, is the internet. The internet became huge after the Attitude Era. It was still in its infancy when the Attitude Era was going on. And because of that, it was a lot harder to find out what was going to happen. You would hear stuff. I remember as a wrestling fan, at times you could kind of hear about maybe, there was someone might show up or this might happen, but you weren't really positive. Now, everything's on the internet within like an hour of them deciding to do it. And it's very hard for them to not have it leak. There's reporters who do what I'm doing here, but they've done it for a lot longer and they have a lot more subscribers and they have a lot more whatever. So they do that. They find stuff out and they post it. And before you know who's going to win the Elimination Chamber. I bet you can go online right now and we'll find out a pretty good idea who's going to win the Elimination Chamber. everything I've heard is that Roman Reigns is going to win, and that it is a setup for him and Brock Lesnar again at WrestleMania. And that's the dumbest thing to me. You talk about they talk about wanting to build guys and then using NXT and build guys up. How many times now has Roman Reigns, I think fought Brock Lesnar twice or something like that? It's just ridiculous. Like, I'm sick of nothing against Roman Reigns, but it's like you get pushed so much, the crowd gets sick of it. And the thing about him too is that he's trying to do the John Cena, and we've already had John Cena. John Cena says, hey, listen, you can boo me, you can cheer me, that's your right. You paid the money, do what you want. I'm going to be me. It's about respect. Okay, cool. That was him from the beginning. I get that. Roman Reigns is coming out and saying, this is my yard. I'm the big dog. You're going to respect me. I don't care what you do. You're just copying John Cena, except you Samoan. Don't work. So that's like the biggest thing right now is that the WWE, there are no more surprises coming out of the gate. Like I said, Miz is going to start the match. He ain't going to miss. The rumor is right now, the windmill is that Braun Strowman is a possibility for the Intercontinental title, and then this could start him and Miz. If you noticed, him and Miz have been kind of having a little bit of things started. Last Monday, they did something, and it's saying it might continue to WrestleMania. I mean, to me, that's just stupid because you've had Braun Strowman be this just bad, guy, and you're going to have him go into the Elimination Chamber, building him up this whole time, having him dump tables on people, having him do whatever, and you're going to have him lose? Now, I think Kane's going to make an appearance. I think they're going to pull the old guy. Kane's going to come out from the grate and cause him hit Braun Strowman, and that's how maybe Miz gets the win over Braun, and that's how they start this. But either way, you're doing to Braun Strowman what you're doing to Nia Jax, which I'm going to get into. You're building up Braun Strowman to be strong and just powerful and dangerous and scary, but you don't give him a title. And the crowd right now is on Braun Strowman. They have the chance right now to turn Braun Strowman into a face and make him a very big face. And I don't mean that just physically. I mean, he could be a very, make money for the company, but they just don't want to give up. For some reason, they have, Vince McMahon apparently has a liking to Roman Reigns. So I don't know. I would like to see Braun Strowman win this match, but I think it is going to be Roman Reigns. I think John Cena won't win. I think he gets set up with Eli, alias Eli, whatever his name is there. I always say it wrong. I think he gets set up with him for WrestleMania. I think Finn Balor and I don't know if Finn Balor and Seth Rollins do anything. Seth Rollins apparently is Jason Jordan's going to be his opponent at WrestleMania. So I think Finn Balor gets left out on this one, and Finn Balor's going to start something with somebody down the road. So that's my prediction on that match. I think Roman Reigns does win. And I think that we do see a feud start between The Miz and Braun Strowman, which will be it'll be good. Miz is a great talker and he's in the ring. He's a good wrestler. He's improved a lot, and he's one of the top guys now. I think really does do a good job. I just don't see how you convince me that he can beat Braun Strowman unless you just have him beat up with, unless he just uses his two guys there, Axel and I'm going to think of his name later. It always happens. That guy sorry. He was the NXT champ too. All right, so going on to the next match that I think, actually, I'll just go real quick. Ronda Rousey, she's going to sign her contract. She'll interfere in a match later on that I'll go over. You got Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt. That feud could end. It could begin, or it could keep going. I don't know. These are two guys who I think have some of the best characters. They could really do something interesting with these characters and make the feud really interesting, really kind of go into that dark supernatural feud thing, but they're not going to do it because they don't want to spend money on it and spend time on it. And it's kind of a shame because Matt Hardy, especially Matt Hardy, was coming in back to WWE on a hell of a run on the indies and this new broken Matt, and they're kind of killing it already. Shame Jeff Hardy got hurt. Jeff Hardy's supposedly going to be back for WrestleMania. I don't think he'll interfere in this match. I don't think he's cleared yet. Bray Wyatt, as I've always said, I think Bray Wyatt's underused ridiculously by the WWE. I think part of that has to do with WWE's getting a little fed up with some stuff going on maybe behind the scenes. And I think they also just feel that he's not a moneymaker. And if you're not a moneymaker, WWE, they don't push you. Then we got the Raw Tag Team Champs, The Bar versus Titus Worldwide. I would be amazed if Titus Worldwide wins this match. But, hey, you know, you want to throw something in there? There you go. That's maybe one of your long shots that they pull out a victory and become the new tag champs. But I doubt it. I don't think that's going to happen. Then you have the kickoff is Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson versus the Revival. I actually really want to see. I'm a big fan of the Revival. I know Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson were coming in this big, and they've kind of dropped off a little bit, and they feel like they're lost. They feel like it feels like them, and that's where I think maybe Finn Balor, they do something with the club, kind of reunite that and really push it. But it feels like Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson came in big, high expectations, and WWE just didn't jump on that and has kind of lost it. The Revival, injury-prone guys for some reason. Unfortunately, they were out, and I feel like they've lost a little bit. But again, if WWE pushes them right, I mean, they're a team that I think could do really good. So that's where it goes there. Who wins that? I mean, I'll give Matt Hardy the win. I'll give the win to, I would like to see Worldwide win, but I'm going to go with the tag champs there. Cesaro and Sheamus. And I'm going to give Revival. I think Revival gets the win here. So that leaves the two matches, and that is Asuka versus Nia Jax. If Nia Jax wins, she gets put into the WrestleMania main event. This won't happen. It won't. WWE's been doing this with Nia Jax forever. Now, okay, so I said it won't happen. Here's the only way it happens. The only way it happens is Ronda Rousey interferes. She signs her contract, okay? Big hoopla. She interferes and causes Asuka the match. Nia Jax then wins, goes on. That's the only way. Other than that, Asuka does not lose to Nia Jax. Yes, Nia Jax has looked strong the last couple of weeks. That's what WWE does with her. They make her look strong going into a match, and then they have her lose. Because WWE, just for some reason, does not want to put the belt on Nia Jax. And I don't know why. Because Nia Jax, she is a big woman. She's big, but she's beautiful. She's a beautiful big woman. She's a plus-size model. I mean, she's beautiful and everything for a big woman. And it's like, WWE just doesn't want to push her. So Asuka gets to win, I think, in that. Unless, like I said, they really pull something out and they do something, which I just doubt they will. So I give that to Asuka. I think Nia Jax will have something at WrestleMania. I just don't know what. But again, unless Ronda Rousey does interfere, but it's rumored that Ronda Rousey and Charlotte could have a feud, so that would not probably happen. So, on to the women's. Now, in the women's elimination chamber, the title is on the line. So, it includes Alexa Bliss, the champion, Sasha Banks, Bayley, Mickie James, Mandy Rose, and Sonya Deville. Who, by the way, Sonya Deville, hey, how you doing? If you're, if you're single, but if you are, and you like guys, a little bit of weight, sarcasm, funny, I'm him. she's going to see this. That match, again, there's a big women's revolution going on, and I think that's great. I'm all for it. Sasha Banks and Bayley had the match maybe 2 years ago, was it? NXT 2016 Dallas? Either way, they had the match of the night. It was a crazy match. So I am all for the women's revolution. I am all for women's wrestling. I'm all for it. They can do it. I think we do not see a title change. There's nobody in there that screams. Sasha Banks and Bayley are your two favorites. Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, part of whatever the name is, they're up and coming. They're not title ready yet. So I don't think that's going to happen. Mickie James, as much as I wouldn't mind her winning the title, and she's a 6-time champion, I think, 5 or 6-time champion. So she could win it, but I doubt it. So I think I'm going to go with Alexa Bliss keeping the title, but I think Sasha Banks or Bayley could win it because they are saying Sasha Banks, Bayley is a strong possibility for WrestleMania with Sasha turning on Bayley. And like I said, they've had matches of the year, so I would not mind that happening. But yeah, so that's kind of the Elimination Chamber, but the real emphasis that I want to put on here is that this card to me is a very slim card. It's there's a lot of filler matches. The two big matches are the Elimination Chambers. Then you do have Rousey signing and you have Asuka, but Asuka and Nia Jax, but I feel like you know who's going to win those, other than maybe some surprises if they pull them out. But again, the internet has kind of ruined it with surprises, and that's a shame. I think that, I wish, I almost wish they wouldn't report on that, and I know WWE would like that too, because then they can get away with stuff, but, you just hear a lot. The Rumble this year, though, I will say there was a good amount of surprises with the Rumble. I did feel the women didn't have as many surprises as the men. I felt like the men had a lot more surprises, so that's what I think, guys. Okay, we're at 15 minutes, so I think we're gonna close shop. Again, I appreciate you coming back. If you're watching this, if you stayed with me, sorry for the delay. I might try to get stuff up sooner, but with my schedule, with the business, it'll probably be just have pay-per-views that I put stuff up, or if something really, really big happens, maybe I'll post something. So I appreciate it, guys, and as always, this is Capone, and man, I'm out. Let me try it again, and I'm out. So I only got one word for you. Peace!